Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Hey parents, how do you make smarter choices for your kids' college today? That's where Sally can help. With Sally, you can find scholarships, funding options, tools, and guidance all in one place. And if you need a loan, Sally has options for different families and different situations. College is only worth it if you do it right. So don't just help your kid go. Help them go smarter. Sally.com/GoParents.
All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast. Kevin and Chuck. Today, we're going to talk current affairs. Now, we had a listener, Ryan, sent us an email. And
it's about a month ago.
It was about a month ago, and it took us a while to get there because we got a lot going on. We have a lot of big plans for this podcast. I mean, you know, the direction of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot going on. But he had concerns about the shutdown, the political climate, food stamps running out, things like that with the government shutdown. Now, I know, you know, government's kind of back in business. They accepted some kind of bullshit wall deal that sounds like it's more bad than good, but I don't know, whatever. But there is a lot of things going on in our current climate. And actually, what did he say? Circle jerking in Washington?
Yes, I think that was his
There's
his
a lot
phrase.
of that going on. And I think that the circle jerking going on in Washington definitely has impacts and I think reason for concern as a prepper. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of things that goes on over there that really should raise some red flags or cause alarm. Just how stupid college kids are with their political views and whatever.
It's terrifying.
Should raise some alarm. You know, they ask them questions about the Constitution and things in the street and how things work. And you know what? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
yes.
should be raising some kind of alarms when you hear people talk.
Right. One of the things that that Ryan was talking about was the executive order, the emergency.
Yes.
Now,
he was afraid of possible executive overreach.
Right. Now, obviously, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez recently said that the climate is an emergency.
National emergency.
And if she was president, what kind of emergency situation would she bypass Congress for?
She had some pretty slick new ideas. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you heard about this Green New Deal or whatever
the slick new ideas that are the same as the old slick ideas?
Oh, no, they were slick. They were slick. She had that we were going to be carbon neutral within 10 years except for cows farting.
Okay.
I think it was cow farting and some other thing that was beyond our control. We can't help that now.
I think I might have a solution.
All right.
I'm going to invest in corks. I think the stock is going to skyrocket.
I think the pressure will build up. And then
just exploding cows.
It'll be like champagne bottles. Except it's not champagne that goes
people think it's aliens turning the cows inside out. No, it's just corks.
So, anyway, that's a little disturbing. But her Green Deal was we were basically going to retrofit all the houses. Every building and structure in the United States was going to be retrofitted. So it would be basically net zero as far as, using electricity and blah, blah, blah. and she had some magic way that she was going to do it that nobody knew about it.
Okay.
Well, the problem is she put it up on her website, and everybody was like, there's no fucking way. It just can't happen. You're not even, like, anywhere near logical. After she got hammered for a while, she ended up saying, well, yeah, that was just a joke. I was being ironic.
Ah, okay.
See,
All right.
you didn't realize she's
See, I was full on with these
She's
corks
smarter.
thing, and now I realize that's not even. It's pointless.
not even a thing. So she's got
I was
a lot
just
going
joking
on.
too, by the way.
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
serious about the corks.
That wasn't because people were going to be plugging corks in cows' asses. Well, you could have got somebody killed in today's episode.
I know, you're right.
Everybody, before you go putting a cork in cow's ass,
Exploding cow syndrome.
that is not the way to go. So anyway, well, I think where Kevin was going before I got sidebarred, I just can't believe how crazy people are. And we're going to actually circle back around to Alexandria Ocasio.
And we've got all sorts of crazy.
We're circling back later. But where Kevin was going with this is, all right now Trump's the guy.
Right.
And whether you like Trump or don't like Trump, if he goes making crazy executive things and is able to pull that off, then when you get somebody you don't like, if you like him, like Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, then they may be making some radical, whatever,
Right.
decisions that you
Gun
may not
violence,
agree with.
it's an emergency.
Gun violence is an
It's
emergency.
a crisis.
You shoot up a school, that's an emergency. We have Florida. Kids are crying. Kids go on TV crying. That sounds like a national... I need to act unilaterally and just knock that shit out.
Right.
And that's where you get into trouble. And obviously that's a dangerous road. Now, I do wonder, like everyone's like, oh, well, the executive branch, they're just one branch of government. They shouldn't have all the power. But somehow that means that Congress should have all the power? Because they're just one branch of government. And so there's a lot of lines that need to be drawn. And the same thing. The Supreme Court, the judiciary. They're just 1/3.
RBG, homie.
So we got to, balance. Balance is all I'm saying. Now, the president, actually under Obama, we started really going down that slippery slope. And it's very easy for everybody to be like, well, at least our guy's in power. We should get ours too. And, Republicans are kind of notorious for saying, well, the Democrats did it all crazy, but we're going to rein it in and do it the right way.
Yeah, but Bill Clinton had that lady that sucked his dick.
He did have that going on.
Right. Donald Trump may or may not have had sex with that porn star.
Right.
And honestly, she's a little old looking now.
Yeah,
but
now.
she was
hot?
better looking than
She was? All right.
All right.
That's
I'm
it?
done with that.
You want to
That's it.
compare the
I'm
two
just,
chicks?
I'm just saying is that people were outraged by the BJ.
So what you're saying is
But nobody cares about the adultery.
So on Facebook, I should put up a picture of
The blue dress?
Monica and a picture of the other chick. What's her name? We don't even know her character.
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels. Side by side. And then say, who's the better president? Put that up top. Maybe one of you guys put that together and slap it out there for us.
Yeah. But a BJ isn't sex, I think, now,
No, it
according
doesn't
to
count?
Bill Clinton. Yeah, that's
The
what I
stain
tell
on the
my
blue
wife
dress,
anyway.
yeah,
It doesn't
that's what you
count.
do. It
That
doesn't
doesn't count.
count.
Yeah. It depends on
shit.
what is. What does is mean? I don't know. Nobody knows
Exactly.
anymore.
All right. Well, it definitely, sex with the woman did not have the sex. I could see where he went with that. I see where he's going. But anyway, so now we actually have some topics that are kind of on topic.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to touch on real quick was there's a spike right now in hacking.
Okay.
Says U.S. businesses and government agencies have been targeted in aggressive attacks by Iran and China. It looks like Iran's focusing on disrupting banks, and businesses, and China is basically stealing trade secrets from military contractors and tech companies. Now, I mean, I feel it's kind of the tech company's job to protect their stuff. You know,
I do.
That's what you do. But you know, banks and things like that. That's a little bit scary, and it seems like the attacks have gone up quite a bit. Some people are saying it's because Trump negated that whole Iranian nuclear deal. That maybe seems like a stretch to me. It seems like Iran's always been run by a bunch of assholes. I've known Iranians, and they're somewhat decent people, you know? But it seems like their country's run by lunatics. Huh?
Lefty's girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
See?
She was a good woman. But,
you guys don't know Lefty, but that out there.
I know Lefty. Chuck knows Lefty. Anyway,
Iranian?
we're getting sidetracked here. The issue is, though, that these attacks are increasing. They say that Russia is still the number one cyber threat. But we've talked about fire sales before on this podcast.
Okay.
You know, basically collapsing power grids.
Yes.
Shutting down major infrastructure. You know, a lot of these things that we rely on are run by the internet. You know, if you go to your bank and they say, "Sorry, we don't have any record of you having any money in here," you might get a little wound up.
I would get wound up
if they do that to 10,000 people.
Wait a minute! I never have any money in the bank.
See, it's not going to hit me that hard. I'd be like, I guess I spent it all. I haven't checked for a month. That makes sense.
I don't know. Eventually the card runs out. Who knows? You know, whatever. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, that's something to keep in mind when you're planning your preps, though, is you know, think about all the ways that you use things that are run by computer networks now. You know, you're not going to be able to go to Pornhub anymore. Good luck with that. You're going to actually have to, like, have sex with your wife. That would be, you know, tragic for a lot of people.
I got an email from Ashley Madison.
Oh, yeah? Are they still doing that?
I
That's
didn't
the
know.
cheating website, right?
Yeah. Like last week, they were like, "Oh, you should go to Ashley Madison and find women that."
Right.
And I'm like, is that still a thing?
I think
it could be just a scam.
When they
like,
dumped
they want
all
me
that,
to go there. I don't know.
Yeah, when they dumped all that information, it looks like there was, like, you know, it was like 50% men and 50% robots on that.
Oh,
it was just
hurtful.
a bunch of dudes and talking to fake girls.
Oh.
So I don't know how many people actually had an affair.
The affairs weren't happening.
No, I don't think that really actually happened. It was just a bunch of
or you had,
just
like,
a bunch of
20
scumbag
really
dudes got
busy
found
girls?
out. Yeah. Yep.
That could be what happened there.
All right. Another one of the topics we want to talk about, rise in robotics recently.
Tell me about that.
They're saying that over the next 10 years, there's going to be tens of millions of jobs that are going to be lost to robotics. You know, we talk about economic collapse, but, you know, that can take a lot of forms. You know, massive unemployment, 50% unemployment, that could be a major, major problem with people just losing their shit, you know? And if you're one of the people that lost their job and you've been prepping, that's one thing. But when everybody on your streets lost their job and you're the only one that's been prepping, you know, might be something to consider. That's all I got on the robotics. Do you want to move on to...
Well, I think you just touched on economic collapse there.
Right.
One of the things, I think it was actually like Glenn Beck or something I was listening to today, and they had some guy, or not today, earlier this week, they had some guy in there who was saying 40% of auto loans are subprime. Now, subprime is what got us into trouble with the housing bubble there. And basically the idea is people who don't really have the credit or the ability to pay, they're like, yeah, fuck it. Give them a car loan because then we can sell another car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's somehow cool again because the government's down for like GM. Because, you know, GM, government motors now.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we said fuck you and your pension and whatever? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of scary. 20% of all student loans are in default.
That's not subprime. That's
default.
That means people stop paying.
And then they said by the end of Trump's first presidency, they expect it to be 40%. Now, I don't know. I mean, there was always talk, remember, well, if you go and become a teacher,
right,
we'll waive your student loans. Or if you go to AmeriCorps or do, stupid shit, we'll waive your loans, that kind of shit. It's a dangerous road, especially when the government is holding most of those loans for student loans.
That's right.
That's a dangerous road. Another thing I want to kind of loop back to Ryan had said about, a government shutdown if food stamps didn't get funded.
Right.
What are those EBT cards?
Yep.
Is that what it's called? All right. So when they go to the store and the EBT card doesn't work, how angry do those people get? Mm-hmm. And I know I said those people.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, that's some serious people get angry. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, if you just cut it back to like 40%, could you imagine, people flipping out and whatever? It's crazy. People are crazy out there.
Right. And I'll tell you what. There's one person you never want to fight is a welfare queen.
Yeah.
They don't care. They'll get their teeth knocked out. You can bite off a piece of their ear. They don't give a fuck. No, They're not somebody you want to tangle with.
Those are the ones where you're both grabbing the bag of freaking Rice Krispies, and then they shoot out all over the floor.
And it goes everywhere. Yep. It's your fault. She's gonna pull out your.
But it's not.
She's gonna
safe
pull out
to
your
go
weave.
Out. And it's gonna get ugly, and then you get people rioting and protesting. It just takes things like that, and the thing is, be it a government shutdown or just any other freaking messed up thing, the government, Kevin and his hacking and, that kind of thing, whatever. If the money goes away or people don't have access to their check cards, who has cash anymore?
Right. How many people really have, $1,000 under their mattress? Some of us do, but does your neighbor? Because if I thought he did, I'd rape it, right? I'd rob his ass.
But I don't know. Yeah, that's the world. I mean, people are crazy and in just a heartbeat. So, moving on to the next. So, another thing about people sabotaging themselves. Remember I mentioned how it seems that society is getting so ignorant and dumb and blind and sheeple, if you will. Mm-hmm. And somehow it comes back to that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
She,
us in the know, we call her the AOC.
The AOC? Mm-hmm. All right. So, apparently in New York, our brilliant governor, who everyone loves and adores.
Who absolutely is not corrupt.
King Cuomo. Mm-hmm. He managed to broker this deal, him and de Blasio, who would be the mayor of New York City.
New York City, right.
They brokered a deal with Amazon, with Bezos.
Right.
Now, this is prior to him doing selfie nudes, I think?
No. But I was looking at his neck and head, and I feel like I can imagine what those pictures look like. Yeah. He looks like a walking penis with a suit on. Right. But I'm just saying.
I had to make the dig. I don't know why.
Right.
I couldn't help it. But, so anyway, we brokered a deal. There was going to be 25,000 jobs coming to New York. Mm-hmm. And basically, they worked out the deal. I don't have all the details in front of me, but the gist of it was we're going to give them like $2 billion in tax breaks so they could use that money to set up their infrastructure and stuff. And the idea was they basically wouldn't pay tax for the first 2 years, and it was going to be like $2 billion worth of tax.
Right.
Now, this is incentive to come set up, and then New York's going to put the screws to you, and we're going to rob you for the next 100 years. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be cool for everybody in New York because we're like, oh, thank God Amazon's finally paying the bill and not us.
Right.
Now, it sucks if New Yorkers use Amazon.
Yeah.
Because now we're paying out the ass for whatever because he's getting screwed with New York taxes. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so moving right along. So this brilliant young lady who New York City elected to Congress, who is a rising star in the Democrat Party, decided, you know what? You should just take that $3 billion and use it to fund all my social programs.
Right.
And then she went out and she started picketing, and she got all her friends and anybody she could muster up to picket and protest Amazon coming to New York. So New York, or Amazon, was like, you know what? I don't need that kind of negative shit in my life. Fuck that. I'll go to a blue state that isn't going to put the screws to me. And she was also saying some shit about they have like slave labor there, and they don't let, like, everyone has quotas they have to meet, and they have to work really hard to stay at Amazon.
Yeah. You know who?
It's just not fair.
You know who runs the warehouses at the Amazon warehouses? Robots.
Robots. Yep. So there was actually going to be 25,000 real jobs. Now, and then even, I find it ironic because de Blasio was trying to explain to the New York Post or whatever, whichever one is the liberal one. I never know if it's the Daily News or the Post.
Yeah, it's all of them.
No, but we have the two that are both the big paper. I don't know. The Post or the News, one of them. Whichever one he, runs to. And he's like, there isn't actually $3 billion. We don't have that.
Right.
She just is misinformed and explaining that tax breaks. I just find it amusing when a Democrat is explaining that
how taxes
giving
work
a tax
to
cut.
another.
Well, when giving somebody a tax cut is not really giving away money because you don't have the money.
Right.
And I'm like, no, that's the Republican line that you don't know, and you're a straight. De Blasio is like a straight communist.
Right. He's right up there with all the.
He was the one who had his honeymoon and was like the guest of freaking Castro or whatever. So, yeah, no, I don't know. But my point is, we're really fucked up. We're going really socialist. And if you let the government control everything in every part of your life, then you're going to find that you are, they're making all the decisions for you.
Right. You don't get to make your own decisions.
And when they're in control, they decide who gets health care, who gets rationed food, who gets all these things that you might find important. They might be cut short. And you might also find some brutality and inhumanity. Turns out socialism goes that way sometimes, where they start making decisions that you might find immoral.
Like Stalinist Russia and Pol Pot and, I'll tell you what, buddy. It seems like it's happening all over the place.
Yeah, you're seeing the theme? All right, so let me tell you about this. There was way back in 2012. Let me bring you way back. Now, this is so far back, Obama was president. So this is back before the hills got dusty.
All right.
All right, we're way back there. So he signed, now this is the one you've probably seen on your Facebook or whatever, where they're like, oh, FEMA now there's a new executive order that happened in 2012. Brand new. Back in 2012.
And 2012 was brand new.
And yeah, but I just saw it the other day, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's Trump doing to me? And then so it's called the National Defense Resource Preparedness Act, or order, whatever. So, and it was actually Executive Order 13603. Now, the idea was that they kept saying, oh, now FEMA can come in and take all your food stores and take all your everything, and sucks to be you. Well, so I decided, well, you know what? If I'm going to talk about this, instead of just reading the headlines, maybe I should actually read the bill.
The actual bill.
Now, it was 10 pages, and that is a lot for a guy like me.
Right.
I was like, 10 pages? I don't know. And so I skimmed it. And I picked out the parts that I wanted. But I think I did actually read it, but it was tough, right? So I go through, and it's kind of all over the place. It starts out, you get down to section 201, is priorities and allocations. By the authority of the president, they can require and priority performance of contracts or orders. So he basically goes through and he says, well, the head of the Department of Labor can reorganize jobs and decide what people are going to do. The head of healthcare can, basically take over hospitals and run shit in an emergency.
Right.
That kind of shit. It all kind of sounds pretty reasonable. And, and then they're like, oh, they have the ability to create, like, promissory notes to pay for things.
All right. Like an IOU.
Like an IOU. So I do think that if, like, FEMA knocks on your door and is like, give me all your food storage, you can be like, well, you got to give me an IOU. Mm-hmm. So at least you might have that going for you, right? So then in, like, section 801, like, F, like, 801 is all, like, A through G is the different shit they can take and, like, what they're talking about, what farm equipment, whatever, food facilities, functions. So under E, it has food resources. And it says all commodities and products, simple and mixed, such as commodities, or products that are capable of being ingested by human beings, animals, irrespective of other uses to which such commodities or products may be put at all stages of processing, from raw commodities, anything in the vendable form for human or animal consumption. Also means portable water, packaged commercially, whatever.
Right.
It goes through. It's like anything.
What I'm picking up from this is that they can take the Coke machine. I don't like this, man.
No.
I don't like
Coke,
this one bit.
The Verner's ginger ale, whatever you got, right?
Oh,
they're taking Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Mountain Dew, Code Red, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So here's the deal. Bottom line, you read it, it really kind of, you get the feeling that they're talking about, like, at stores and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, that they can kind of control the chains of production.
Right.
It never really says, like, they can knock on your door and you got to give them shit. Mm-hmm. But you could definitely expand it to that.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's
power.
all the fear-mongering, but, like, you really didn't think the government had come take your shit anyway. Mm-hmm. Now, I did read some kind of prepper book, I don't know, a little while back. I don't remember which one. I read too many. Mm-hmm. But they basically had the list of, like, oh, you went to My Patriot Supply and ordered, 20 freaking months of long-term food storage. Where are they?
Right.
And they were, give us your shit. And the guy just had it all right there in the garage, and they just kicked in the door, beat his wife, and, took what they wanted, the government. Well, maybe you should move a lot. This is what I'd recommend. And maybe you should have your stores spread out a little bit.
Right.
Maybe, hide it in 8 places. So be like, oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry. And also, I was really hungry for that chili mac for the last couple months.
Yeah, chili mac.
We were eating it. Kevin, I lost my job and shit's happening. Mm-hmm. So I've been eating chili mac or, whatever else they have in there. I don't know. Corn, red beans, and rice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what people are eating these days. But bottom line, be aware of that the government's going to kind of come take your shit.
Don't be real obvious what you've got stashed.
You don't really want to have the podcast where you tell everybody that you're the crazy prepper.
Yeah, don't start a podcast and tell everybody that wants to listen about everything that you do. Just a word to the wise.
And then have a Facebook page where you post pictures, all your guns, and hey, look at me. Now, speaking of guns, I got a new tack pack in the mail this week. And I don't know if you remember last time, about 3 or 4 episodes ago, we pointed out there was a pretty cool little first aid kit in there, but we had some mocking about the tourniquet.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's a piece of string. You might die. Well, I have to point out, in this tack pack, they happen to have a new Rat's second generation tourniquet. I think they realized where they went wrong on that one.
All right.
So it's in there because just the random first aid item. Now, I was going to bring it over so Kevin could have it to put in the first aid kit, but I forgot about it, and I get distracted, and shit happens.
Yeah. Well, I was doing some hiking with my kid the other day, and
you needed a tourniquet, and you were like, fuck it, I'm using
well,
the string.
He fell and banged his head, so I tourniqueted his neck, and didn't work out so well. So it looks like I got to get another one of those kids. They come and go.
Tourniquet, either way. One of those things has to be replaced.
Now, have you heard about this Huda Mathana? She's the 19-year-old...
Hakuna Matata?
She's the 19-year-old girl from Hoover, Alabama. She was 19 years old when she left to Syria and joined ISIS.
Now, what's her name again?
Huda Mathana.
Now, who names their kid in Alabama Huda?
Somebody that wants them to go to Syria and join ISIS.
That sounds accurate. Okay.
Now, she was famous for posting such delightful Twitter statements as, so many Aussies and Brits here, but where are the Americans? Yeah. Wake up, cowards. Now, the so had 5 O's. You might have heard that in my voice.
Yep, I see what you did there.
Another great comment was talking to Americans from Syria. Go on drive-bys. Spill all of their blood. Or rent a big truck and drive all of them over. She's a real winner, you know?
This does not sound like wholesome American values.
Well, apparently now she doesn't want to be in Syria anymore and wants to come back to the United States.
They don't like women over there.
Nah, turns out she had 3 husbands.
It was too many.
Kids, the whole 9 yards, and apparently her husbands kept getting blown up. Didn't work out well for her. She thought it was the Islamic State. Turns out it was the Islamic shithole.
Oh.
Didn't work out. So she wants to come back now.
All right.
She realized the error of her ways.
Now, America, open borders, open arms.
No? Yeah, Pompeo actually made a statement the other day saying she's not an American citizen anymore. She doesn't have a passport. She doesn't have a visa. And she's not allowed to come back. Looks like it sucks to be you. He also said that if you're an American citizen, don't go to Syria and join ISIS.
That's a no-no?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Word to the wise.
You know what? I got to say, as an official policy of the Survival and Basic Badass podcast, we also are willing to say, don't go to Syria and join ISIS.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of a bit of a fan of
not going to Syria and joining ISIS?
Of not joining a jihad in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't know that about you.
You can just not kill people. That's also an option.
That's an option?
Yeah. But,
America?
If you wanted to, if you're a woman, young woman in Alabama, Mississippi, wherever you're at, and you feel like you need to do more, your religious beliefs are leading you to do something, you could go to Syria and become a sex slave. There's openings.
They have openings?
Yep. So, there's that for you.
All right. Now, yeah, I feel like everything is wrong. So I was watching the news, and they're talking about the wall, and, I guess everybody all around the country is, it's not a national emergency, and all this stuff that Trump says is going on isn't happening, and blah, 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 he's a jerk. And then they're like, now, here's our follow-up story. How to protect your kids from human trafficking in the capital region.
Nice.
And I'm like, wait a minute. How are they trafficking our kids out of here? Unless there's no wall and you see what they did there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how come one
has... It's the pizza places.
The pizza places?
Yeah.
I knew it in D.C.?
Yep.
All
yep.
Right.
You know where they're at.
So they smuggle them into D.C.? Has nothing to do with it?
Yep.
All right.
Now, they just pulled over a truck coming across the border in Texas with frozen strawberries.
Oh, I like strawberries.
Yeah. Didn't have frozen strawberries in it. It was $10 million worth of crystal meth. The good stuff.
I'd rather have the strawberries.
You can get your energy from the sugar or the meth,
All right.
Whatever. They're not going to allow it to be distributed, though.
No?
I wouldn't mind a little bit of crystal meth, but, that's just me. I'd go for frozen strawberries, too. Whatever.
I like frozen strawberries. I don't know.
Make
Put 'em
myself
in
a
the protein
smoothie.
shake, a little smoothie.
A little crystal meth smoothie.
We got like a Smoothie King coming up the road, and they have the strawberries.
Yep.
And, yeah, it would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. To each his own.
Right. Different strokes.
All right. Maybe we'll get back on task next week.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah, we have good stuff coming up. I don't know what are we going to do next week.
I got nothing.
We got to hash this out after the show.
All right.
Anyway,
tune in next week
yeah.
is what I would tell you.
Email us at preppingbadass@gmail.com. Always love getting emails from you guys. I always get interesting ideas from you you lunatics. So
Hamish is hot on the trail, all the audiobooks that I've been suggesting.
Yep.
So
Yep. Which is
like
crazy because all those audiobooks you listen to are
crazy.
written by lunatics.
Yes. There are so many people writing books because they're scared that EMPs are going to happen. It's apparently the go-to novel for
that
preppers.
is the go-to.
So, and they're like, even if it's not an EMP, they're like, yeah, but after something bad happened, then there was an EMP.
Right.
And I did do one just the other day that was a volcano, Yellowstone. Volcano goes off, the big blackout, the volcanic ash is crushing roofs and the whole thing, and then an EMP happens. Then at the end of the book, you're like, oh, it wasn't an EMP, it was just static from all the volcanic ash in the air. Ended up taking out all the electronics anyway. Because it's just more fun to write a book without electronics.
That's right. Going back to 1880s.
But I would just tell you, just put some of those little extra talk about radios in your Faraday cage. You never know when that's going to come in handy.
They're not
if
expensive.
You're the only guy with radios, you're pretty fucking cool. So, Tac Pack, you guys want a monthly subscription? There's a lot of cool shit in there every month, $49.95, and you get usually about $100 worth of value out of there. And it's stuff you're going to be buying. And what's cool is a lot of the time, it's stuff like I'll find out something new, and then freaking Tac Pack, there it is the next month, just as I'm about to go buy it. And then like 2 months later, my gun store's got it. So I'll always find that I'm ahead of the curve, cutting edge. And that's pretty cool. I like the new stuff. They're always thinking, getting the right gear. Gun lights. They sent us that whole handguard the one time with the gas tube, the whole thing, gas block, gas tube, all of it. A lot of cool shit in there, and you're really pretty much at the point where I could build a new gun, just from what they've sent me. I think the only thing I'm missing is a barrel, so a lot of cool shit out there. But I guess maybe not a cool trigger either. If they sent me like a binary trigger, that would be sweet. Like Franklin has those binary triggers.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
So, something like that, I'd be in. I'd be grateful. So, with that, stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
The Survival and Basic Badass podcast is a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.